has been an awakening. Have you felt it? At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have revenge. The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. Now you will experience the full power of the dark side.
Welcome, followers of the Dark Side and the Light. I'm your host, John, the real JP3, and I'm joined as always by my good friend and fellow Sith Lord, who is a master of the dark side, expert on the occult, and obtainer of rare antiquities and holocrons. Please welcome Dark Lord of the Sith, David!
Well, hello, John.
Are you reading your Sith book?
Hello, John.
How are you?
Good, buddy. As you can see, you're next to me.
Yeah, so this is the first live, it's not live, YouTube video recording where Dave and I are sitting in the same room. So I'll just let you know that we started setting up an hour ago, trying to make this work and find the right angles and everything else. And this is what we've come up with.
Yeah, we've continued to have technical difficulty.
I think we will continue to have technical difficulties.
Regardless, we shall venture on forward into the stratosphere.
Right, are you trying to sound
I don't know
like
what- I don't know what the hell that's-
Bane from Batman or what?
No, that's a whole other talk.
Okay. So what are we talking about today? What's going on?
We are talking about the fact that my Super Star Destroyer is in the mail, John.
It's in the mail.
It's in the mail.
Okay.
So my Fantasy Flight Star Wars Armada Super Star Destroyer is in the mail. It's headed to me now. It's 24 inches long, John. So I am excited to get the Super Star Destroyer in. I'm still debating if I should buy another one.
I keep telling him he needs to hang him from his bedroom. It be the weirdest thing in the world for a girl to see that. But I told him, I was like, hang him in your bedroom and let somebody see it, and just like have like. He's like, no, then I would never go to sleep because I would just be coming up with battle scenes the entire time.
That's true. It's awesome. So I should be receiving it in a week, a couple days.
I can only imagine how big this box or this packaging is.
So the ship itself is 24 inches long. So
Okay.
basic math, that's 2 feet. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be like that big. It's going to be like, ah! I don't know, I'm super excited. I'm debating if I should buy another one.
How much did this set you back?
So I pre-ordered it a year ago, and it's barely hitting the market now, and the pre-order price was $159.99.
Okay, so that's the pre-order. On top of that, which
Regular retails $199.99.
So on top of that, we're going to get into this a little bit later, but there's been some new ships that are released for Star Wars Armada. So we'll talk about those a little bit later and what connection they may have with the Rise of Skywalker. So we'll see. But I will say that this episode may have some potential spoilers for Episode 9, The Mandalorian. So just be aware that we'll say it again before we get there, but in reality, this episode may have some spoilers for some things. So just be aware. We want to bring you the news. We want to talk about it, but we also don't want to spoil anything for you guys if you don't want to hear it. Other things we're going to talk about today are they've announced some content that's going to be released through the Disney Plus streaming service, which I think is pretty cool. And we are, 4 months away? August, September, October? No, 4 months away from the release. November 12th, Disney Plus will drop. We did post an article about the fact that those D23 Expo members, we don't know what level of membership, and also those going to the D23 Expo will receive a free promotional offer for Disney Plus from Disney if they visit the pavilion at the D23 Expo Hall. So we don't know what the details of that are. We don't know what's going to happen. We do know it's going to be a Hulu. They're trying to make it a Hulu add-on. So if we get to the Hulu add-on, we know where we're going to be viewing it is on Hulu. So just real quick, because this episode that we usually air that we're recording today, we would have some Galactic Times from our friends at Channel Star Wars. Mike and Jason reached out to us yesterday and said that they are both feeling extremely ill and they don't have any voices to record. So this week we will not have the Galactic Times from Channel Star Wars, but the whole episode is kind of like news that's come out or rumors. So we appreciate everything they do. We hope they feel better, but we won't have Mike or Jason joining us this week. So it's all right. No big deal. We'll move on.
Very much so. I was just a little distracted. I'm wearing my Taco Dreams t-shirt. It's kind of funky. I love it. Torchy's Tacos, if they have one near you, by all means, get a Wrangler breakfast taco. Very tasty.
Yeah, so I've also heard the Trailer Park one is really good. I've not personally had it, but
Never had the Trailer Park.
I'm told it's good.
It's not sponsored by Torchy's this episode, but I just like tacos.
What if we reach out to Torchy's? We got free tacos. There's a Torchy's where I live. You don't have a Torchy's where you live. That's on you. Sorry.
Well, we'll have to figure that out. I forgot what we're going to talk about, what I was going to transition to. I'm just excited about my Superstar Destroyer. That's all I know.
Anyway, so let's get into we still have not, if you guys come up with an entry point of let's get into the meat and potatoes, something that you recommend, let us know. Apparently we can't figure it out. Maybe we should ask the editor. Maybe the editor will tell us.
Yeah, there's always a way.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we're going to get into the nitty gritty of today's episode, which is episode what?
I'm sorry, I was just giving you the cue. You have to talk into the mic because
I know.
when you talk to me, it's not picking up the sound.
Yeah, I'm trying to get all the way on the screen. I feel like I'm losing some screen time here. This is what I'm not a fan of.
Scoot over. Don't make it weird. Just come here. I guess you on live YouTube.
So anyway, it's not live YouTube.
In my mind, it's live because we're shooting it live.
Okay. Anyway,
we're alive when we shoot.
Will you do your introduction, please?
What are we doing?
Were you telling the episode and everything?
Oh, yeah. This is going to be episode 93 of The Rule of Two, a Star Wars podcast, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, I am joined by John, my lovely host, who's in person, and I can physically see him, touch him, which makes it weird. And Superstar Destroyer is on the way. There's no word on Brendel, if or when he may come.
Drop the Brendel thing. Drop it.
Fine, very well. A lot of things going on in Star Wars. Obviously, D23 is around the corner. Got to get ready for that. John, you and I are not D23 people. We don't have the membership signed up. We're not going to go. I could see you actually really enjoying that.
I would really enjoy D23. The interesting thing is that Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim next year is taking place around the exact same time that D23 is. So I think they could be some tie-ins, or they may not hold the D23 Expo. I don't know, but I could see some huge tie-ins, and that may be our chance to
D23 is every 2
experience.
years. It's biannually. It's not every year.
Is it biannually?
Yeah, it's biannually.
So it's how much research I did on D23. I'm sorry. Unless they decide to bring it annually.
They do have a lot of Marvel content and Disney stuff and Frozen and Mulan live action and who knows whatever hell else they're going to make live action. Stop doing it. You're making the camera freak out. The camera's like, what is this guy doing? He's just morphing in and out of the screen.
I fixed my hair. I put your hair gel in. Sorry, guys. Anyway, so D23 every 2 years. We'll see what happens.
So are you expecting a trailer for Rise of Skywalker at D23?
Oh, absolutely. There's got to be... D23 has to bring us and finalize the information that we have not yet received from the Rise of Skywalker in like a video form, or give us some more intel. You know, they had the San Diego Comic-Con that took place, it's been about 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks. Right? And we didn't, they had a Mandalorian panel. We got very little information out of that panel of what more information was coming. So
no official trailer, by the way.
No official trailer, so I'm curious to see what D23 may bring to us. Now, granted, The Mandalorian will launch with Episode 1 on November 12th with the Disney Plus streaming service. We know that for a fact. We don't know when the other episodes will come, and we've also talked about the fact that Jon Favreau is already writing and starting production for Season 2 of The Mandalorian. So... yeah, I don't know. I think we're going to have to get something. It may be, I don't know if they'd give us both, but I think this trailer, if we get one at D23, which I'm hoping we will, it will be the final trailer before the show comes out. The movie, not the show, my bad.
No, I think you're going to get one other trailer after this. So I think we're going to get one at D23, and then we're gonna get another trailer the month of December, or Thanksgiving trailer.
I don't know. There was a lot of speculation about that happening last year, and I don't think you'll get another one. I think it'd be the D23. I'm willing to make a bet on it.
What do you want to bet?
I don't know. I don't know what I want to bet right now. We'll have to talk about this later. But
Fair enough.
I will shake on air.
Oh, a physical shake.
Yeah, you can physically see it.
Oh.
So we'll see what happens, but I think we'll get the D23 trailer, and then we won't get another one.
I think we'll get something afterwards, whether it's a little tidbit one here or there, but we're going to get something after. I feel it. Either way, we'll iron out the deets and we'll figure it out later. But I want to see a official Mandalorian trailer, because you can go on YouTube and find videos of people taking video of the trailer at Celebration, see that, but you want to see it in all of its HD awesome glory, and official trailers are always nice.
Yeah, so you have a video of that too.
Yeah, I do. I have a few videos from Celebration where they're like, no phones. I'm like,
Yeah, here's
I'm
Dave.
gonna ninja this. And hey, it worked. I was doing that the entire panel for Clone Wars, remember?
Oh yeah, they had people walking around, and if you're sneaky enough about it, it's
The entire time I was just like this.
advertising for the rule of two.
Yeah, look, it's the same as your shirt.
I know, which you can find on TeePublic, guys. TeePublic.com. Search the Rule of Two Pod. Got a design up there. You can get a tapestry, which is what usually sits behind me when I record, a T-shirt, a phone cover. We also got spirals. We got coffee mugs, plastic and ceramic. You got laptop computer cases. We got stickers. I'm missing something. There's a bunch of pillows, bags, tote bags. Go check it out, guys. Let us know what you think. There was a design you would like to see. Let us know. Dave's our design guy.
We've got like 3 in the pipeline. We're just waiting for them to get finalized, which feels like it's taking forever. But slowly but surely, they will be out. And we will have new Rule of Two merch right around the holidays for your friends, family, or just somebody random.
Randoms.
Plus, I do need another hoodie.
Too. Anyway, so moving on, let's get into the nitty-gritty nuts and bolts of this episode, where we're going to talk about Hulu plus Disney Plus. Oh, man, I wigged myself out there. Talk about some information we received from The Mandalorian.
I'm so lost.
And then we're going to talk about some potential rumors or spoilers that we found on The Rise of Skywalker. So, Disney Plus, Dave. I feel it's getting more hype. Makes sense. Disney's getting ready to launch.
It's 100 days away, essentially.
100 days away. So what are your feelings on this? Outside of The Mandalorian, I think we've talked about this a little bit. Where are you at with it?
I'm okay with it. I'm not super excited about anything other than The Mandalorian and all the Star Wars content being on there. Of course, not everything's going to be on there all at once. The Last Jedi as well as Solo are contractually obligated for Netflix for another few months after the launch of Disney Plus. But I've never really been into the Marvel TV shows. Loki's the only one that really sounds cool that they're coming out with. Other than that, nothing really that jazzed up.
So, reading this article that I found, which is on digitaltrends.com, they're going to have multiple tiers where they're going to show the videos. You're going to have a Star Wars, a Marvel, a Pixar, a Disney, and a National Geographic titles that are going to be separated like you have your different Netflix accounts today. We do know that obviously Disney's also shared some other details, including a roadmap for the service's first year, which is set to include 25 original series in its first year. It's a lot, by the way. They're starting with The Mandalorian, which we already know of. A whole slate of films from its vault, including classics like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, The Little Mermaid, and Pinocchio. I really liked Pinocchio.
I can see you being a big Pinocchio guy.
I liked Pinocchio a lot. Anyway, so you got that, and then there's also going to be a surprise reveal.
Is The Great Mouse Detective on there?
No.
I love The Great Mouse Detective.
Love The Great Mouse Detective. All 30 seasons of The Simpsons, because their acquisition of Fox allows them access to that now. What do you call it?
Catalog?
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Of information. So you get all 30 seasons of The Simpsons on there too, which I think is kind of cool. Let's see here. The studio's upcoming movie slate, which includes Frozen 2, Toy Story 4, Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, and live-action remakes, The Lion King, will also have exclusive availability on the Disney Plus once they're released. And Captain Marvel, the movie, will be the first movie available on the new Disney Plus streaming service from the Marvel Cinematic Universe that has not released to Netflix first. So they're holding Captain Marvel back to not sign another contract with Netflix to make sure it releases with Disney Plus.
You'd figure it'd be Endgame.
Oh, Endgame's on there too. So Endgame, but Captain Marvel was the first one. It came out before Endgame.
Didn't
so
do
that's
it for me.
Yeah, Captain Marvel was not good in my opinion. I don't know how I feel about the new Spider-Man movies. I started watching the Spider-Man Homecoming and I couldn't get into it, and then the new one, Far From Home, I think it is the next one. I've been told it's really good.
It's got Jake Gyllenhaal, man.
Yeah, the trailer looked really good, but
it's already been out.
I know, I don't know. I've been secretly had hints dropped that we need to go see it, and I have not partaken.
You're a horrible boyfriend.
I know. Anyway, so moving on, you get the Infinity War, you got all of those. Endgame will not be available until after December 11th on Disney Plus. They said that there's some financial and some other contractual stuff that they have to deal with on that, so that's why. They're staying approximately 7,000 episodes of television series and 400 to 500 movies are expected to be available in the service when it launches. There's just I can't even get into.
We're not going to go through their whole darn catalog. Either way, we got Disney Plus coming. What you guys are listening on this podcast for are for The Mandalorian. That's what you want. Anything else is just a bonus. Of course, Resistance Season 2, they haven't announced. Is that going to air on Disney Plus?
No, there's been no official. I think they'll leave it on Disney XD for the kids.
It's not even on XD. Rebels was on XD.
Which one is this one on?
Just Disney.
Oh, it's just on the Disney network?
Yeah.
I don't foresee them taking it off of that. You may get Season 1 on there, which is just will be releasing to DVD.
They're not releasing a Blu-ray version.
Yeah, I know. How sad are you about that? Because
I upgraded all my Clone Wars to Blu-ray. I upgraded all my Rebels to Blu-ray, and now Resistance, the newest show in the darn animated Star Wars catalog, is not coming out on Blu-ray. What the hell?
I know a lot of people questioned that in the comments when Disney and Star Wars posted it. There was never a response to my knowledge of why they weren't doing it.
I'm a little upset about that. If it's only on DVD, I'm not going to buy it. I want it on Blu-ray.
So then start your digital catalog.
It's on Hulu. I can just watch it on Hulu.
Until they remove it from Hulu.
But then they're going to probably release it on Blu-ray at that time when they remove it off of Hulu.
Yeah, so you did buy all the DVDs originally for your Clone Wars and
for the
Rebels.
animated, yeah.
And then for Christmas, that's what he asked for, is to upgrade him to Blu-ray, which I did. And I bought my own copy accidentally.
You bought a copy of everything accidentally? No, that doesn't happen, John.
You can misclick on eBay. eBay during the holidays is a shit show. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like being in the real store. You know what's going to happen.
You worked in stores, John.
Yeah, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what you're going to put in your basket. Accidentally. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Anyways, hopefully they have a Blu-ray release sometime soon. Because I want it on Blu-ray to add to the shelf. Not that I really enjoyed the show, but I can see where they're going with it. It's going to mature. It's going to get deeper, darker, more intense. And that's when the show's really going to blossom, Season 2, Season 3. But I'm not going to own it unless it's on Blu-ray.
Okay. So that's our Disney Plus spiel, guys. If we find out more information, we'll let you know. Dave still wants tacos. Our friends from Star Wars News, I think it's not .net, but Star Wars News Net, posted an article talking about, I don't even know how to say his name, Giancarlo Esposito.
Okay, so what's the song by Justin Bieber that you like?
Despacito. Espacito?
There you go.
How do you say his first name?
I'm not even going to try. Just say Gustavo Fring, okay?
Gustavo Fring, even though I thought his name was Eduardo Fring.
Yeah.
Which was, Breaking Bad was a great show if you haven't checked it out. He's also in the prequel, right?
And what prequel?
Better Call Saul.
Yes.
Okay. So,
Sorry, John wants to keep looking at me. And I'm like, John, look at the talk to
because
the
we're
mic.
never
Talk,
like we're
talk to
usually
the
looking
mic.
at each other face to face. We're not
Just
next
look at
to
my
each
face
other.
on this face.
Just blew my mind right there.
Don't look at my real face. Look at my fake face.
So anyway, he talked some details about his new role. We haven't posted this article yet, but we will. Coming up on The Mandalorian. But he did say he does not want to give us a whole lot of information because he wants us to be able to enjoy it. So he did say that his character may be more ambiguous, have a more ambiguous moral standing than we believe. And you may be quite surprised with his character and what it brings to the table. A quote from him said, "In a way, you might call him an underworld character. You may also look at him as a savior, as someone who might bring back some order to the world after it's all collapsed."
I think the biggest thing for me, and a lot of people are kind of in the same boat, is what is the state of the galaxy once the Empire is gone? Did the New Republic come in and fill that void right away, or is there a vacuum where there's still lawlessness, there's still remnants of the Empire? What does that look like? How are things run? Because we know that oh my god, I forget his name. Warsog? Whatever. The guy that was in the trailer. Oh man, I'm blanking on his name. I can't think of it.
Nick Nolte?
No, Nick Nolte wasn't really in the trailer. The guy that played the Imperial that's giving the Mandalorian a job.
Oh, I don't know.
Look at the Equalizer IMDb, like to remember his name, because I'm blanking on it right now.
Keep talking.
Obviously he still has Imperial ties because he's got Imperial guys on the background, but is Gustavo Fring's character someone that's like, no, man, like you got to get back in line. This is the Empire. This is the remnants of the Empire. We have more dignity, respect, or something. Which one? No. Is this the first one?
Mm-hmm. 2014 film.
All the way down? Keep scrolling? No, that can't be right. Oh, well. Either way, I'm interested to see what the world looks like in the gap between the Empire falling and the New Republic taking over. I'm going to look at it in a second, John. I'm distracted. Ow.
Black Panther.
Also, did they say exactly this takes place, 5 years after the Empire falls? The Battle of Endor?
Is it Endor?
What are you talking about?
I don't know if it was the Battle of Endor.
Is it taking 5 years after the Battle of Endor?
I thought it was later than that.
What do you mean is later than that? Hello.
I can't remember it. I don't want to lie about it.
I think it's 5 years after the Battle of Endor, which is right around the time of the Battle of Jakku, I think. But John shall Google. Pedro Pascal. He's going to be a beast.
The Mandalorian takes place after the fall of the Empire and before the emergence of the First Order. So yes, you were correcto.
Does it say 5 years?
It doesn't specifically say year. Let me look into
Well,
it.
I know it takes place before the First Order, but I wanted to say it was 5 years after the Battle of Endor. Dun dun dun. Either way, guys, Super Star Destroyer. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to play Armada. I'm trying to get John to get back in the game so we can play.
Anyway.
And it'll be glorious.
I don't know the exact years, and I don't want to Google it because we're taking too much time trying to Google.
Yeah, exactly.
So, anyway, another comment that Gustavo Fring came up with. We are working in the volume. It is very specific atmosphere and quite fascinating to work in. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but that does suggest I might have a different persona. Who knows? So for those of you who don't know, The Volume is a Hollywood soundstage where James Cameron filmed the bulk of Avatar and many other filmmakers used to film actors in digitally rendered environments. This news would have been eyebrow-raising enough, meant in a good way, but we can even further speculate Esposito may not like himself when he appears in may not look like himself when he appears in The Mandalorian. So they are going to have the Disney Plus panel, obviously at D23, which we've talked about. So I'm expecting. Do you think what I think we talked about trailers? We're gonna get a trailer from The Mandalorian. Do you think from D23?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's probably the right time to launch one because they got to start picking up steam and promoting it more. It would be really cool if you start seeing that trailer being advertised on Hulu because Disney owns Hulu, and then you get the option of, hey, just click this button and add this to your already existing account, and now you have access to this future content.
Yeah. So
Werner Herzog. I didn't find his name, but I remembered in my head now.
so proud of you. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. The Mandalorian. It's got a great cast. You got Pedro Pascal, Gina
Carano.
You got
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers.
Nick Nolte.
And then you got Gustav Fring, which is his character's name in Breaking Bad, or Espacito is his last name, as we found out. I don't want to try to say his first name. It's like Giancarlo or something. But yeah, I'm interested to see how this all comes together and how. I don't know. I think I'm going to be blown away. I don't think it's going to melt my mind like we talked about.
No,
with
but
JJ.
it's got the Western feel, man. It's got the dirty, gritty, awesome, freaking vibe. I think it's gonna hit home. A lot of people are gonna love it. I know George Lucas made comments to Favreau saying, "Hey, don't forget your core audience is kids." But I don't really feel like Fav took that to heart, and because I think he wants to make something grittier, darker, more mature for those of us that like that kind of stuff. Don't get me wrong, you're always going to have your lighter side of Star Wars, but I don't think the entire Star Wars universe or galaxy needs to be Jar Jar funny kind of thing.
Yeah, or the B-1 battle droids in the Clone Wars. Oh, it's horrible. Horrible.
You didn't get that style of comedy in the original trilogy.
No, you didn't. So anything else on The Mandalorian besides you're excited to see it? You can't wait for November 12th, first episode that we know of. I kind of feel like I don't know if I want to go to work that day. I just kind of want to stay home and watch The Mandalorian, and then also like, what other content do they have available that I can like run through and watch?
I know they're gonna do stuff on like Triple Force Friday, releasing stuff for Skywalker, Resistance Season 2, and Mandalorian, but I wonder if they're gonna include merch from The Mandalorian in Galaxy's Edge. Like after the show comes out, you can buy a set of the Mandalorian's pistols, or you can buy a replica of the rifle he uses, or the currency that they use in the show, or something crazy. I'm wondering if they're going to continue to roll out new content, shopping products at Galaxy's Edge based on The Rise of Skywalker,
But
The
do you think-
Mandalorian, Cassian Andor.
But do you think that it would fit into what the time period and what they're trying to do with the Galaxy's Edge? But to
Yeah, because it takes place after The Mandalorian.
okay. That's the biggest thing I wonder is like, are they really trying to keep it like defined lines of when things are going to happen? Or is it going to be, hey, we're going to try to figure this out whenever we can, and we're not going to put this here because it doesn't fit into the timeline that we're trying to portray as a story in Galaxy's Edge?
No, but you can be like, oh, these are pistols, or this is a replica of a rifle that was used by Mandalorian on whatever planet that the Mandalorian takes place. I don't know. I think there's ways that they can interweave it and continue to add new product to Galaxy's Edge.
So what if you have like Savvy's workshop where you can build the lightsaber, but then also you get to build the rifle from the Mandalorian?
That would be pretty bad.
I just came out with it off the top of my head, by the way.
Which that would actually be pretty cool. Whether you can build rifles, pistols, like I can see that coming in the near future at some point. But right now, they want to get a lightsaber in everybody's hands. I don't blame them. I want one. My hand's right here.
He's getting 5.
So if you can't make your way to Galaxy's Edge right now and get your hands on one of those lightsabers, John, what could you do? What could you do for a high quality saber?
We got some friends at Ultra Sabers. If you reach out to Ultra Sabers, go check out their website, find a lightsaber that you like, non-discounted, and it doesn't work on accessories. When you go to checkout, enter the coupon code Force Feels, all caps, one word, and you will receive a 10% off coupon from the Real 2 Star Wars Podcast. And then once you get your lightsaber in, go ahead and post on social media and tag us in our Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at the Rule of Two Pod. Videos, whatever you think would be cool, and we'll definitely share them. But yeah, head on over to ultrasabers.com. Find your saber. Again, it doesn't work on already discounted or clearance sabers, and doesn't work on any accessories. But 10% off that saber, which is we did some pricing just to make sure it worked, and 10% off some of those sabers is a pretty hefty amount. It can cover almost your shipping and some of your handling as well. It's shipping and handling. I gave you perfect context.
So, for one, why do you keep edging closer to the edge of the screen over there? Like, you've got plenty of space.
I don't know. So I'm like, my leg hurts. Like, my nerves are like cramped or something. So my leg hurts. And so I'm trying to like spread out. So, because I got really, really long legs. I'm a tall dude. And now the editor's going to yell because you're making extra noise that she's going to cut out.
You keep trying to like crawl off screen, trying to get you back on the screen. See? It looks weird.
It's just David talking to himself. And what was it? Ian Malcolm in Jurassic Park. Here I am just talking to myself now. I'm just saying. Spared no expense. Anyway, moving on. Ultra Sabers. If you want to find another way to support us, you can head over on to our Patreon, www.patreon.com. We have a tier for everybody from, I forget that David set these up, $2. What's the $2 one?
Acolyte.
Yeah, so the Acolyte all the way up to the Mac Daddy of Darkness, which Dave came up with as we were sitting outside by the fire like a long time ago. And it's become our hashtag, and now it's a tier on our Patreon. So go over there, get exclusive content and things like that. So, last thing. Getting into like more spoilers, I think, than most people. And last time I started talking about this, Dave was like, I don't want to talk about this. Don't.
Well, no, you have one more thing before the last thing.
Oh,
you didn't even include the new ships that Fantasy Flight Games is coming out with for Armada.
Bro, it's part of the Rise of Skywalker conversation.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, because the article's
cool.
sitting right in front of me.
Ooh.
I swear. I'm responsible for coming up with not the content. He tells me what the content is. I just kind of map it out, and then we go, and throwing me off here. That's why we can't podcast next to each other anymore. Like, technical difficulties. We're not
Either way,
used to
roll
this.
on. Come on.
Can't do this.
Play your violin for you.
Anyway, so rumor
It's the world's
details are
smallest violin.
possible. Episode 9, potential spoilers ahead. We got the announcement of Sith Troopers that arrived at San Diego Comic-Con, action figures, and all that other cool stuff. So, let's talk about Sith Troopers first of all.
Spoilers.
Spoilers, guys.
Potential. We don't know. We'll see.
The Sith stormtroopers have been hidden away in the unknown region. It is apparently hellish in those areas. The universe is not entirely stable. The area is dangerous and full of peril. Since Emperor Palpatine's death, the fleet has been dodging gravity wells and surviving in the wilderness of space in the unknown regions, waiting to be found and finish their mission. The Red Sith stormtroopers, which belong to Palpatine, are hidden away inside a massive fleet, probably as a final act, so upon his resurrection he could dominate the universe once more. However, the Death Star II wasn't Palpatine's last project. These Star Destroyers are equipped with planet-destroying weapons like the one on the Death Star itself. Which on our last episode we did talk about that there would not be another planet-destroying weapon, but the technology used in the new weapons that we would see in the Rise of Skywalker, it was the Death Star technology. So I don't know, like, we had talked heavily about the fact of, like, Sith troopers, where they were, where they came from, who commanded them, and I think we finally got our answer. Do you agree or no?
Well, that's something that we talked about and debated and, went back and forth on, hey, we think this is it, this is our theory, so forth, but they released an image of what they think, well, I don't know, is that supposed to be the Sith trooper ships? And the one that they're talking about?
The one at the very top?
Yeah, the red and black looking ship.
Yeah, so I think it's supposed to be a new ship in the Rise of Skywalker, but I don't know. It may just be the fleet.
Or it might just be concept art. It's nothing
Yeah,
official,
exactly.
so take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, so we don't know. It looks pretty beast. And so you remember stuff like this, but does it look like anything? I'm so glad we can do this now. Does it look like anything that
Or you can just have the editor put in the picture on the screen at this time.
the editor yells too much at me? I don't want to have her yell anymore. Does it look like anything we've seen before or a mix of something before?
You know, when I look at that, it's got the outline of like a super Star Destroyer, or even just a Star Destroyer, and that middle center cutout part, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of like Trade Federation ships. Like
Okay.
you remember the big
Yeah,
circular ones?
So that's what I was thinking about too, but I didn't know what it was from. I was like, that looks very familiar. That's why I was like, Dave would know. Trade Federation ships does make very, very valid sense. So I guess we'll see what happens. The Sith Trooper.
They know what he looks like. They've seen him at San Diego Comic-Con.
I think this is cool now. Looks pretty cool. So, and I think we got our answer. Like, it looks like Palpatine is the one who was controlling them or oversees them, which makes sense that they're called Sith Troopers. We went back and forth. Is it something Kylo controlled or something Kylo has? Or is it a long lost trooper that was commanded by the Sith and they haven't had any command for a long time, so now they're coming back, but who's commanding them? Or were they found? It seems like Palpatine was the one who created them somehow, and he had another plan up his sleeve, which, as we talked about in the last episode, I wouldn't put it past Palp to have like 5 other contingency plans.
You know, I don't know if it's going to be that simple.
Really? You
I
think
don't
so?
know. I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot more stuff going on that we don't know. I love the idea of Sith troopers. I love the entire idea of a Sith fleet, a Sith trooper fleet, whatever the heck you want to call them, and Sith commanders and this, that, and the other, that they only obey a Sith or Palpatine's last image. But we'll see. Too early to speculate. I want another trailer. In that next Star Wars trailer that we get, hopefully at D23, I want to see Sith troopers live and in the armor. And see what it looks like. See them tearing somebody up. All out war. Sith troopers. Maybe we'll see a mechanized force, or maybe we'll realize that the Sith troopers are the mechanized force. We'll see. You never know.
You never know. I just really like the red and black armor.
I do. I dig it a lot.
So as Dave previously alluded to, Armada, Fantasy Flight Games, who created Armada and several other, you got Legions, you got, what is it, A-Wing or... X-Wing series and things like that. So...
Which Legion, they came out with some new packs also.
So we saw that at Star Wars Celebration, and Dave was like, I said, oh, that game looks pretty cool, but he's all like, I got to build models, I got to build little people, and I got to build some shrubbery, and he's all excited. And I was like,
Called dioramas, John.
Have you started building it yet? And he was like, no, but I feel I need to.
I just need your commitment that you're down to play, and I'll start building dioramas.
You can build mine too.
Sure, whatever.
Anyway,
Then
so
I'll build both of the dioramas, but then that means you got to buy the standard game and then the new edition that's coming out. And I will build all the dioramas.
this guy. We'll talk offline.
Buy it, Amazon.
Anyway, so Fantasy Flight Games has released some new ships from Armada that could potentially be the new ships that we see in the Rise of Skywalker. We don't know. One of them is an Ongar class Star Destroyer, also known as the Siege Breaker. Pretty cool
Sounds
name.
badass.
Well, was an alleged type of capital ship that utilized a kyber crystal superweapon in the capacity of a portable cannon. It was believed to be developed by the Galactic Empire and used kyber crystals powerful enough that could shatter mountains and anything but the strongest energy shields.
So are you thinking some kind of tech that is described there will be incorporated into those new Sith ships?
I think so. So here's my philosophy and my thought. I think that regardless of what anybody else thinks, I think Palp had several contingency plans. I think we can all agree on that. The thing I also think Palp had was, here was a station that did this, here was a station that did this, here was a station that did this, and then here was a station that was off the books. Nobody knew what was going on except it was classified above classified, and you had that information where they were working on technology and things beyond the current mindset of what we have today or what we see today, and that's the planet or the factory that's in the outer rim and the far reaches of the galaxy that he had as his backup plan. That's what I honestly believe. A lot of people probably speculate that, and I'm probably making it seem like it's breaking news, but that's my opinion. So I think something like this was probably tested and being worked on outside of the Resistance, outside of the Rebellion, where nobody could detect it, not even the Empire themselves. But it was one of those like off the book, not in the financial reports, of funding that was going there, and very, very few people knew about it, and they never talked about it.
Which makes you think, how the heck did the Empire run the books, the funding? Because they didn't have Stardust, the Death Star project, on the books. They were siphoning off materials from here or there. How do they run their their government, their galactic empire?
Well, and you always have to, like, anytime that you saw the Empire come in, like, and maybe it was Dooku.
Like, what are taxes like? Jesus.
And you always saw, like, the Empire come in, they say, this will be taken for the Empire, and you will be heavily compensated well above what you would have been making if you allow us to come in. Now, you heard Dooku say this a lot, so I wonder if Dooku was secretly funding a lot of this a lot of that stuff.
Why did he say that?
It was in the Clone Wars. He was like, the Empire will heavily compensate you for this. So, but I wonder if Dooku was funding that with his money. So it just goes to show.
He is the Count of Sereno.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it just goes to show that I think that's part of it. But I think there was a lot of things that were off the books. And I don't know if there was like maybe a guy in a closet that the Emperor was like, you're the book guy. You know everything, but you shall not see the light of day and tell anybody anything.
Could be. Possible. You never know.
So we'll see what happens with the ship. Dave's all excited. He tried to pre-order the day it came out, and it wasn't anywhere but on miniature.
No, it was on Fantasy Flight Games.
Fantasy Flight Games. We buy things from Amazon, Miniature Market, and things like that. So it wasn't anywhere there. So,
but I can pre-order today.
Yeah. So then the next thing comes up is if the Resistance is going up against firepower of this magnitude in The Rise of Skywalker, they're going to need some substantial firepower of their own. Thankfully, according to the expanded novelization of The Last Jedi by Jason Fry, the Resistance might have just a thing after all, providing there are any of them left. So we have a picture of this too that we posted, and it says, as the Resistance U-55 orbital load lifters were being destroyed by the Supremacy after they evacuated from the Raddus, General Leo Organa tried to imagine a miracle where Inferno Squad returned from their mission to find the Resistance allies in the Outer Rim territories with a task force of Starhawks.
So the new ship for Star Wars Armada is a Starhawk, which they say it has the firepower to go head up against a Super Star Destroyer.
Boom.
Which
you shall go down with your 24 inches of Star Destroyer.
Let's test it.
Boom.
Let's Armada battle it up.
Down.
The Starhawk as well as the Ongar comes out sometime in the fourth quarter, so feel free to go ahead and pre-order now and show us your Armada ships. Let's show your fleet off. Because I want to play. And I think John doesn't want to play, and it makes me sad.
At one point he told me, he said, I can find other people that play Star Wars Armada with me, and I can beat them just as bad as I beat you. That's what he told me.
I have never said that.
It's the kind of friend I have, guys.
Never said that. Maybe I'm hoping you'll rise to the challenge. Listen to some Rocky music. Rising up.
Oh. That was super cute, by the way. I don't care what anybody says. That was super cute.
Adorbs.
Anyway, so potential spoilers, not a whole lot that most people are, but there's a lot of little things that people are going to start picking out based off announcements that are coming out. Fantasy Flight Games with their new ships, the Sith Trooper, interviews, things like that. So who knows? Who really knows everything that's going to happen and what's all going to come out? I'm just excited. We're getting closer to December. I think it's like 19th or 20th for The Rise of Skywalker. Going to go watch it several times, and I can't wait. I can't wait.
Pretty much, I'm just as excited for Skywalker as I am my Super Star Destroyer coming in the mail. But other than that, I don't think we got anything else, John. What about you?
No. And so when the Super Star Destroyer comes in, guys, I'm sure we will post a picture.
Oh, yeah.
Of what it is.
And then I'll go ahead and take the rest of my ships out, and I'll make up new formations and whatnot, and it'll be awesome.
This is what Dave takes days off of work for, guys. Just FYI.
What? To come up with different formations and
Yes.
attack plans?
Yes.
It's awesome.
So let us know what you guys think about the rumors, the speculations, all the new information that's coming out. Let us know if you're going to D23, and if you find out anything from D23, let us know. Send us a DM on our social medias, or send us an email via our Gmail or our contact at theroll2podcast.com. We'd love to hear from you guys. And as always, may the force be with you. Thank you for tuning in today. We are The Rule of Two, a Star Wars podcast. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Rule of Two Pod. Check us out on our website at www.theruleoftwopodcast.com, or send us an email via contact@theruleoftwopodcast.com. Check us out on Patreon and TeePublic for exclusive deals and merchandise. And we are in no way affiliated with Disney, Lucasfilms, or the Collider Podcast Rule of Two. And as always, may the Force be with you.
Fulfill your destiny. Once more, the Sith will rule the galaxy. We shall